Hey everybody, and welcome to a different type of video on the channel where I voice over myself playing some iRacing. Now, if you know me, or if you watched my content before, you'll know that I'm a pretty big fan of motorsports and generally just cars, right? And iRacing is a game that I have thoroughly enjoyed myself for a very long time. Now, I've never really done anything with it as far as like making videos on it. It's just been something I've enjoyed in my own free time, and I have taken a break from it for the past couple of years, but recently I got a permanent place to set up a racing simulator. Quote-unquote simulator. It's not really a true full sim, but you get the point. And I decided to get back into iRacing nonetheless. Now, this isn't the first race I did. This is my second race I did back. I forgot to record the replay on the first one. Stupid me. But this one was better anyways, as you'll end up seeing. And I don't know. I enjoyed it so much, I decided to make a video on it. Now we start here in qualifying, where I ended up setting a 120.0, 120 dead on my second lap, which I was pretty happy about. I think you can run high 119, or no, high 119s, low 119s, somewhere around there. It's like, yeah, like a 119.3 or something like that is like the fastest lap you can run. Now, being my second race back, I was not terribly upset with that. It was good enough to get me on the front row. Third or fourth was my starting position, and for some reason coming to the green, we're already 3 wide. Even before we crossed the finish line, we're already 3 wide. We're actually 3 wide many rows back. We're just all out of order, and me, I decided, you know what, I don't want to go into turn 1 3 wide, so I decided to back out of it, which yeah, didn't work. It didn't work. I should have just committed to it, but yeah, you live and you learn. It's iRacing, right? There was nothing I could do to avoid that, and I ended up, I think I got a 1 or a 2x. It wasn't too bad. But then going into turn 2 here, yeah, no, that's not going to work, and I got another piece of that. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, 2 corners in a row, and I really struggled there. But trust me, the race gets better, all right? As we watch the replay on board myself here, going into turn 1, yeah, just kind of, he kind of went wide and then cut across the guy on my outside's nose. I thought I held my line. We'll see a better angle from here. Yeah, no, he kind of, there was nothing really we could do. I wasn't intending to be 3 wide, but then it ended up being 3 wide. I didn't have a choice. But going into the final corner here on the first lap still, mind you, the first lap, there is another massive accident. I was actually going to make the pass on the guy in first place. That ended up not being a smart move in my brain, I thought. I decided it would be better if I backed out of it and just let him go on through. Here's the replay, the second incident in turn 2. And that in the business is what we call clearing ourselves, folks. You can see I tapped the yellow and black car's bumper there. Just a little light contact, and then, yeah, I don't know what that was. Just, you know, pulling up onto the road and merging into traffic, and then nobody behind him braking. It was it's iRacing. That's all I can basically say about that. Now, once again, turn 2 on the second lap. This is just the second lap, by the way. I thought of going 2 wide there. I didn't end up making the pass. There was a lot of times where I had the opportunity to make the pass on this guy in first, and I decided better of it. I just wanted to be a little patient and not be brave, not make a mistake where I shouldn't. I did bump him going into turn 4 there. He braked a little earlier than I expected here, and going through this next section of corners, the S's as I like to call them, I don't know what they're called. I ended up getting a better run off of that corner and decided I would take him 2 wide coming into the final corner here. I was actually going to make this pass stick if I could, but I bobbled the curb there on exit and wasn't able to carry enough momentum onto the start-finish straight, though the car in second did come with me using a bit of the draft. I was hoping he would bump me. Didn't end up doing that. We just kind of drag raced down the straightaway, which is fine. So going into turn 1 here, I took my normal braking line and hoped that I could maybe brake a little later and cover him off here like it did, but he got a really good run on exit and cut on the inside of me, got the cut back. And then we drag race again towards turn 2, to which, once again, I let him have the spot. And admittedly, he ends up running wide on the exit there and getting into the gravel, so I take him 2 wide again. And that's what I was hoping to avoid all the other times I didn't want to take him too wide. He kind of just chopped my nose, and yeah, ended up giving second place to the guy in third. I was able to hold on to third a little bit here. Decided to be patient again, didn't want to push the issue. They made contact there in front of me, and it's kind of a repeating pattern, as you'll see in a second with that one guy. Yep, there it is. And he just spun him around, and in the background you can actually see him collect another car there. We'll see more incidents with this guy later on. Trust me, that's not it. We're not done with them. So, little unfortunate there, but here's the replay of the final incident on lap 1. It kind of seemed like, to me, the red car came over and a little bit of netcode maybe. It's hard to see from that angle, but really just looks like two cars racing for the same piece of real estate. But the biggest testicles award goes to this guy in the teal and black car. Just keeps it absolutely pinned. Admittedly, if he had let off the gas, he probably would have gotten collected in that accident. So kudos to that guy for sticking with it. Once again, this is lap 3 now. Exit of turn 2, he gets in the gravel and pushes it too much and ends up actually way more out of shape than he had before, and handed the lead over to me, which I was happy about. I didn't have to actually attempt to pass past him. And that allowed also the number 4 car to follow me through as well. You'll see this incident. See, I felt like I held my line there. I don't know. Maybe too aggressive for me, but and then later in those series of corners, yeah, just I guess flat out turned him. As we go on board here, yeah, you can just tell that he never lifted out of the gas. Just was totally committed to that. I mean, I guess, I don't know, but yeah, this would be I think the second lap I would lead. I led the lap where we were side by side down the front straightaway. I think that was lap 2 or something like that. But coming on to lap 4 here, I would end up leading that. And yeah, I would pretty much maintain a good pace. I think I have notes here that tell me that I ran 10 out of 12 laps in the 120s. So while I wasn't the fastest and wasn't running anywhere close to the fastest lap times that these cars can run around this track, I was consistently running a lap time that was enough to hold the lead. And the guy in second here, I forget his name, but he was also really fast. He was pushing me all the time, and we would make I would make a mistake, he would make a mistake, and we would just kind of go back and forth with each other as we ride on board. This is actually happening live in the race here, as the teal and black car would get a little bit loose, and once again, same guy, mind you, I just want to point that out, same guy there, would make contact with him again, and that he would spin him around off the nose, kind of actually like a corner later, almost a very similar incident going on there. He would get out of shape, and that would actually be the lead handed to me in the 4 car. This would be the fight for the lead for the rest of the race. So that was a little bit of weight off my back for sure. Knowing that I only had to fight one car really, and everybody else was 4 or 5 seconds back. So if I did make a mistake, I could probably at least retain second in this race, minding that I didn't put it in the wall. So, yeah, not really much going on. Like I said, I would make a mistake, he would make a mistake. We would kind of go back and forth of like me pulling away from him catching up to me, and it was just a really good battle all around. And I really enjoyed it. We were very even, and we were, we raced each other clean for a lot of this race. This would be, I think, lap 7. I think this would be the closest that the gap would ever be between us two as well. It would get within, I think, 3/10, 4/10 of a second here. Actually, about 2/10 right about there. And that was a scary point for me in the race, because I thought, yeah, I'm definitely losing my nerve. I'm running a little bit wide or pushing the car a little bit too hard, running out of talent, what have you. He would then make a mistake through the S's there and run wide, and that would extend the gap to the farthest point that it would ever be, about 1.5, 1.7-ish seconds. He would eventually end up reeling me back in as we come on to lap 9, lap 8, I don't know, next lap we'll say. This is once again an incident happening live. Yep, just monkey see, monkey do, following each other, and almost 3 cars involved in that incident. Once again, I would like to point out that is the 11 car. Yes, the same guy who's caused 3 accidents before this. So I don't know whether he wasn't having a great day or that's just that guy, but you know, it is what it is. That would be the final instant of the entire race throughout the entire field as we come on to lap 10. And I know for a fact that this is lap 10. I have a little note saying that this is my fastest lap, where I would end up running a 120.1. Now, not as fast as my qualifying lap, but in race pace, I was actually pretty proud of running that because, you know, you're under pressure and you've got cars around you and, you know, you're avoiding accidents. There's gravel on the road everywhere, as you can see coming out of turn 2 especially. There's debris everywhere. And I would end up catching what was, I think, 19th place or something like that. There was a lot of cars in this field. And there was people all over the track. We would end up almost coming into contact with the back markers, but that would never be the case. We wouldn't actually end up lapping anybody except for people that were in the pits or repairing damage or anything like that. But just kept it nice, smooth, and consistent throughout this whole lap. I'm very happy with this lap. Obviously, I could have and have since then run faster lap times around this track, but for, you know, only my second race back, a 121 in race pace, I was very, very, very proud of. So, not a bad lap, to say the least. And here we are, coming to the white. Well, we actually are on the final lap here, and I would retain the lead. And he wouldn't really close that much, though this would be the guy in second's fastest lap. He would run a 120 dead. Quite comparable to my qualifying time, actually. Almost exactly the same lap time there. He would run a little bit wide there as he was pushing, but still maintaining a very fast lap was quite impressive. That's what kept me on my toes, and he kept consistently pushing me to run faster and faster and faster over the course of this race. But yeah, I can't stress enough. Second race back, and I won it. And now safety rating wasn't really, or iRating, I don't know what it goes by when they like form the fields. It wasn't very high. I mean, I am the number 1 car, so I guess that means I probably should have won this race, technically. But still, you know, I'm very happy with my performance. He would end up closing, as you can see, quite close there. But it wouldn't be no match for my speed. It would be too fast, and I would end up taking the victory. Yeah, a really, really good race. A little bit of contact here or there, especially on the first lap. I did well to avoid most of it. But yeah, the Carnage report would say that I definitely didn't have the worst race in the field, and we would keep it clean. Or relatively clean up at the front. So now you get to watch my hideous attempt at doing donuts in this car as I sign out for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you want to see more iRacing, I'll try to do it in the future. I'm not sure if I will, if I won't, but just something I thought I'd do. Like I said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to like and subscribe.